Hi, welcome to HeKate's Crossing. Okay, I want to for March, I really want to dive into the Pagan Lenormand. I want to dive into Lenormand again. I work with Lenormand anyway, Lenormand cards anyway, so I just wanted to dive into the Pagan Lenormand. Now this is a rather large deck, so it's not good for large spreads or anything like that. It's just good for like quite small spreads, maybe 3, 6 cards, maybe 7. I wouldn't use much more than that because they're quite big cards, but they're quite good for a bit of a study guide as well. So what I want to do is explore a little bit about Lenormand in overall. Now this is called the Pagan Lenormand, and that is because of the characters in this card, the men and women. Okay, so there's 2 men and 2 women, and they represent the different elements or the different directions. So that's really important as well. So here we have the Native American man. Okay, so he's classed as a Native American man. Now let me read this again because I always get a little bit thing of this. I want to start this again. So we go into here where it says about the man in card 28. The first is the Native American. He's dressed in a red hooded robe, long black hair, dark eyes, and a tan complexion. He wears a native style bone necklace. In his hands he holds a lit sage smudge bundle in it. That's when you look at the men. Okay, red is the colour associated with the south and with fire. So this man represents the element of the fire and the southern quadrant in the pagan group when they form a circle for ritual. Okay, just so you know who he is. And you can see the other pagans in the back here. So we've got the rider to begin with. So let's have a look at what the rider, just some keywords. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of depth with the cards. You can do that with more study and more in-depth thing, but I just want to have a look at some of the keywords just to begin reading. So the rider begins with the good news. Okay, so he's talking about good news, and it's exciting, but it can also speak about male energy depending on what's going on. So it's talking about good news, and the good news is coming in short order to the querent. Things are speeding up. Of course, it depends on what other cards are in the spread to what it would actually pertain to. But let's just begin with good news, exciting, and male energy. Okay, so the next card we have is Clover. So Clover is about lucky, quickening, clearing, and cleansing. So to me, it's always about fortune. It's always about good luck, or it's about things being lucky. Of course, depends on what other cards are in the pile to what it could actually mean, but okay, so the next card here, number 3, is the ship. Now this could be about travel, foreign, and progress. So for me, it's definitely about moving ahead. It's definitely about moving ahead. Of course, could be about overseas, and it can definitely be about the progress of what's actually going on. So the next one is house. Okay, so this could be an actual house. Okay, it can also speak about family, and it can speak about stability or security. Okay, next one we have is tree. Tree can talk about longevity, health, and ancestry. Remember, these are just some of suggested keywords. You may have your own, you may expand on that, you may use a different deck which gives you different meanings, but basically this will give you an idea. Next we have the clouds. Now for me, this can be about confusion, clarifying, fear, hope, depression, and mood, and it all depends on where it's sitting within the reading. What's cards on either side can make a big difference to that. Okay, we've got snake here, and this one for me is definitely about betrayal or trouble, conflict, and indirect caution. It can be about caution as well, being cautious. But for me, it's about trouble, betrayal. Okay, we've got coffin, which is about endings, things being final, and a release, a letting go. Okay, the bouquet. This one to me, friendship, romance, and gift. But to me, it can also be about things growing, a growth. It can be about a gift, romance, and friendship. Okay, scythe is about things cutting, things ending, and we're about harvesting the situation. Next, we've got the whip. Okay, this to me is a sense of disappointment, so arguments and punishment, hurry and repetition, things repeating itself. To me, it's about argument, disappointment, things not being as they are. I know some people use the whip, depending on what other cards with it, in a sexual manner. So, I mean, it depends. Your own thoughts. Okay, the birds to me is about chatter, gossip, using your voice, communication. Okay, so then we have the child. Child to me is, if it's not as a child in itself or children, it can also be about something being small. Okay, something being young and innocent, but something small. So something not being big, something in a small way. Next we have the fox. Fox to me is sense about being cunning or sly, sense of being clever. It can be about being creative in an opportunistic way. Okay, we've got the bear, and the bear is about strength, protection, and abundance. For me, it's always about the protector. Now, some people use the bear as in a mother sense as well. I know the bear can be as a mother, but for me, it's about being a protector. Can also be about that strength. It does talk about being in abundance as well. Next, we've got the stars. Now, the stars here is about destiny, guidance, inspiration, and spirituality. Destiny, guidance, inspiration, and spirituality. Okay, we've got the stork. Stork to me is about a birth of something and a birth announcement. But it can also be about new beginnings, fresh start, and relocation. Always think of it as a birth of a baby announcement in that way. Okay, so we have the dog, which to me is about loyal friendship and being trustworthy. Okay, the tower here, I sort of get an isolation aspect of it, but to me it can also be about your destiny in a way. It can also be a higher up formality and law and ethics. But to me, it can also be about a building, corporate building. Okay, we've got the park here, or the garden, which is about being out in the open, being social, being public environment. Next, we've got the mountain. So the mountain is about obstacles and challenges, obstructions, difficulties, and delays. Next, we've got the roads, or the paths, and this is about choices. It's about decisions to be made, whether you're being indecisive as well, looking at all your options available to you. So it's definitely about the path travelled. Okay, next we've got mice. Now, mice to me is normally about scrutinising it. It's about a loss as well. It's about anxiety, worry, and stress. For me, it's about a loss of something, or about scrutinising something. A mice will scrutinise everything, but it can also be about anxiety, worry, and stress. Okay, we've got the heart. The heart is always about love, romance. Definitely feels it's about relationships in many ways, and it's about your emotions. Okay, next we've got the ring. The ring to me is about a contract. It's like a marriage or a union. some way, a promise, a commitment, an engagement. Of course, it depends on the surrounding cards again. So let's look at the book. The book, to me, if the book's closed, it's about secrets, it's about things hidden. When the book is open, it can be about secrets being revealed, but to me, it could be about secrets. But it can also, yeah, hidden, secret, and private. Or it could be something to do with a book as such. Okay, it can be about a book in some way. Depending on what it's with, like the letter is written communication, contracts in writing and documentation, and I think the ring, you know, when they're together can make a difference, or when the book is with the ring, with the letter, that makes a difference. Okay, so now we've got the men in the card. So the man, depending on which man it is, it's significant male in the querent's life, but to me it can also be about masculine roles or masculine energy. It can be about being active. Okay, so they're being active. Now with the feminine cards, it's always a woman in a woman character or a feminine energy. Can also be that sense of being receptive. Being receptive to the energy. Okay, so now we've got lilies. Now the lilies has come up in many aspects. Can be about a death or sense of can't be asked for many things, but here it's got stress-free, relaxation, sexuality, and elderly. For me, lilies can talk about peace and calming, relaxing, but it can also be about endings, depending on with the coffin and things like that as well. Next we've got the sun. Sun can be about success, power, and happiness, and exposure. Okay, we've got the moon here. The moon here is all about dreams, hopes, aspirations, and vocation. And for me, it can be about cycles as well. Okay, the key to unlocking something, called locking something up, can be a solution, tools, and missing puzzle piece. Okay, next we've got the fish. Fish to me is about work. Okay, but it can also be about money, flow, abundance, and gain. So it can be about financial aspects. Okay, the anchor. The anchor talks about safety, security, work, and roots. So to me, it's about being anchored into something. And the last card we have is the cross. And so the cross to me is burden, karma, pattern, but also religion. So the cross can very much be about what's weighing us down, how we repeat our patterns and things like that, and also our religious beliefs, our spirituality as well, in some way. So that's a little bit of an introduction, very quick look at the Pagan Lenormand with a few keywords. Without going into too much detail for this first video, I just wanted to really quickly look at each card and what they mean as individuals. So next video we'll sort of do a little bit more with the deck. So that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below, check the links on my channel, like, subscribe and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care and